4. Hi, this is Dr. Liza Sahilo from Psyche Electro-Acoustic Opera Company, and this is episode 4 of our musical typing app making journey in Max. And what we're going to do today is add on to the sounds we have available in our app. So far, we are sending MIDI information to the general MIDI synthesizer that's built into our sound card. We're also sending the same MIDI information to Big Ben Bell, which is a software synthesizer that is available in the Max plugins. What I'm going to show you how to do now is how to set up a VST instrument in Max and how to send all of this information to the VST. All right, so let's begin. I'm going to start by finding some clean space in my app, and I'm going to bring in a VST tilde object. This is how we host VSTs in Max. I'm going to give our VST an open message and a plug message. Plug is a command for opening your Finder to find the VST on your hard drive, and open is to actually see the plugin appear on your screen. Now we're going to set, just like Big Ben Bell, we need to use the audio outputs of our VST tilde in order to have the ability to hear anything from this instrument. So I'm just going to drag this module that I put together, this little tiny module, over to my mixer so that I can plug it into the available channels. All right. Left. Right. Perfect. As a resource, if you don't have instruments available on your computer, just go to vstforfree.com or to vstplanet.com. I'm going to open up a harp VST I found recently that I am very excited to work with. The VST that I'm using is called Ethereal Winds Harp 64-bit, and I got this from vstforfree.com. All right, and now I'm going to click open. And there it is. If you press the open message in Max and the VST window opens, then you know it's going to work in Max. If you click on the open message and nothing happens, you have to use another instrument. It won't work in Max. Oh, such an inspiring instrument. I love it. Okay. You can click out of your VST. It's still open in Max. Okay, but I want to play this with my keyboard. So how do I do that? Well, I gotta send it the same information that I'm sending every other instrument in my patch. Now, because I don't want to eliminate any of my other instruments, I want to be able to switch between all of them as I play. I'm going to have to route the information through the gates that I already have set up, the ones that we put together in the last episode. So I'm going to unlock my patch. Change the argument in my gates from gate 2 to gate 3, because now I need 3 outputs, because I'm routing my MIDI information to 3 instruments. So this first gate is sending packed MIDI note on messages, and this second gate is sending packed MIDI note off messages. All right? Our MIDI setup for VST tilde is going to be very similar to that of Big Ben Bell. We have to use the MIDI format object to format MIDI information in a particular way where the VST will can read it. And so we're going to set up another MIDI format object, and we're going to use the packed note on and note off messages and send them into the first input of MIDI format. Oh, we forgot to do something. Okay, so our gate has 3 outputs, but we don't have 3 messages. We don't have a way to open this third output yet, so we got to set us up with a message. 3, 1, 2, and we need another trigger on our keyboard to route all the MIDI information we're creating to our VST. So before we continue with our MIDI format setup, let's complete that. So far we're using B for channel 1, N for channel 2, M for channel 3, comma for routing to Big Bend Bell. I guess we can use period to route to VST tilde, but I have to find out what that trigger is called. So I'm going to go up to my key object and I'm going to press the period object. 46. Go to my select box, type in 46. All right, and I'm going to send a patch cable from 46 to gate message number 3 so that I can properly route everything to VST tilde. Okay, so now we're all routed through the gates we set up in the last tutorial. Okay, now back to MIDI format. We're going to use a second outlet of MIDI format to go into VST tilde, and now I'm going to place some notes on my keyboard. Well, first I'm going to press period. So I'm routing everything through the third outlet of gate. And I'm going to press now notes on my keyboard to see if I'm sending MIDI note on and off messages to VST tilde. Here we go. Oh, yes. Oh, this is so satisfying. I mean, to hear harp sounds when I play my keyboard, this is just so cool. Very nice. I love that. Okay. All right. So we routed no on and no off messages to MIDI format. I do want to route control change messages and pitch bend to MIDI format as well. So let's... Now there's no guarantee that this instrument that I'm using is going to respond to the control change messages I have set up, nor to pitch bends, but we're going to find out. It would be ultra cool if they did. Okay, here. Okay, here's MIDI format. Here's my control out. All right, so let's see where control change messages are. Continuous control change messages, there they are. So I gotta pack the output of this slider and of these MIDI CC values here in order to talk to my VST. So let's pack this information together. Let me see what's first in the list. Controller number and then value. Okay, pack. We need 2 elements, so we're going to type in 0 space 0. All right, where the first one is for... Let's set this up with a number box, actually. Controller number. And the second one, controller value. And we're going to pack this for MIDI control change message. Okay, for pitch bend, I think it just needs the output of my slider here. Let's see. Yeah. All it wants is the output of my slider. There we go. Let's see if it responds to modulation. So let me find my modulation controls. I'm going to max it out on 8. Okay, as you can see, it doesn't respond to modulation. Let's see if it responds to pitch bend. Oh, it does. That is very cool. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave the pitch bend part of the module alone, but I think as we did with Big Bend Bell, we can use the controls of from control out to control a parameter of the instrument that I'm using. I opened up the instrument. You may not be able to see the Ethereal Winds harp, but it does have a few parameters that I can control, volume, pan, reverb, attack, decay, sustain, release. You know, the instrument in itself is so beautiful. I don't want to tweak it, but just to show you how to access the parameters of a VST, hack into the parameters of this VST. Okay guys, it is confirmed that this VST is not going to allow me to access its parameters. So I can't feed any numbers into it so as to control any of the parameters in real time with my keyboard. But I'm going to show you the process of how to access the parameters on a VST and how to feed information into the parameters so that you don't have to be clicking on screen to change the sounds as you're playing. So let me quickly show you how to access the parameters. I'm going to pretend that I was able to access a parameter so that you can follow along on your with your VST. Okay, so again, let's start this again. We're going to pretend like I can access the parameters of my VST. And again, I'm doing this for your benefit. Okay, so if you want to feed numbers into the parameters of your instrument as you play, you want to bring in a params message, params. You want to bring in a print object with the following argument, print names, and with the following attributes, pop-up, space 1. Connect that to the third outlet of VST tilde. Lock your patch. Open your Max console window, which is on the side here. Click on params. If my VST let me access its params, you would see the param names listed on the side here in my Max console window. Why do I need those param names? Because I want to create messages for VST that would allow me to feed numbers into the params. You can't access a param in a VST without knowing what the software developers actually called that parameter in their programming. It may not be the same thing you see on screen. So let's pretend we saw a param name that looked like this. Reb. And we figured that was, rev, and we figured that was for reverb, all right? We would have to create a message with the param name exactly as we see it. So if you see something capitalized, you got to capitalize it. Rev. And then you got to give it a $1. And you feed it into the first inlet of your VST. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is bring in a floating point number box. Or not off. Is it at 0% or is it at 100%? You're thinking of the position of a potentiometer. All right, so 0 is 0% and 1 is 100%. So you're feeding it numbers between 0 and 1, which represent 0% to 100%. We can bring in a slider. Okay, all right. This is the way that VST parameters like to receive their data. And of course, max window. Okay, clearing this out. Now, if for any reason the parameter that you named in your message is not responding, even though you named it exactly as it appears in the Max window, do this. Put parentheses around your parameter name. Okay, if you want to see a tutorial where I actually am able to access the parameters of an instrument, go to Psyche Opera's YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, do a search for Psyche Electro-Acoustic Opera Company. Let me show you exactly what to type. Let me get rid of this because this doesn't work. Search for Psyche Electro-Acoustic Opera Company. on YouTube, go to the playlist that's called Multimedia Tech Tutorials. When I lock my pad, look for a video called Turn Your MIDI Device into an Analog Synth Emulator. This is the end of this tutorial. Stay tuned to this tutorial series for information on the musical typing app competition that I will be launching very soon.